Hi everyone, Ashley here with Ashley Russell Yoga, and it's Yoga Tip Tuesday. So today we're going to talk about a pose that's very dear to my practice. It's a restorative pose called Viparita Karani. Viparita Karani is the Sanskrit word, and Viparita means inverted, Karani means lake, so inverted lake pose. Now, this pose is excellent if you have 5-10 minutes. Today, it's a great pose if you're really busy, on the go, stressed out, you need a break. You feel like you're about to have a meltdown. So I encourage you to find some time today to do this pose. It's also excellent to unwind at the end of the day as soon as you come in from work. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to show you a very simple way, like the most basic way to get into the pose without propping first. And then I'll show you a couple of other ways to get into the pose, a couple of other variations. So I'm going to move these props out of the way first. And so if you're doing, you can do this without any props. Like say you're in a place where you don't have props, or maybe you don't own props. I'll show you a way you can get into it. All you really need is a wall and a little quiet time. Make sure there's not a lot of people around you. So I'm going to show you from the back because you'll be able to see it a bit easier. You can use some padding if you have a yoga mat, just to add a little extra padding so that you're not flat on the floor. So showing you from the back, you'll start by, you want to tilt your hips up towards the wall. Get as close to the wall as you can. So tilting your hips like this up to the wall, I find is makes it easier for you to swing your legs up to the wall and get closer to the wall. And then you'll take your same hand, the same hip that you took up to the wall, down to the floor. Okay. Then from here, you'll take your other hand, slide it underneath that hand that's on the floor supporting you. Take your shoulder down to the wall and swing your legs up the wall like this. So see, I made it all the way up to the wall. It's a little bit easier to do if you tilt your hips in the very beginning of getting into the pose so you can come closer to the wall. If you have tight hamstrings, your legs, it's not the end of the world if you can't get your buttocks and your hamstrings up to the wall. You may be a few inches away from the wall, and that's okay as well. Just find a place that feels comfortable for you. Now your arms, you can take your arms out to the sides like this. Roll the arms out so that the chest opens. Okay, some people enjoy doing this. If you don't have really tight chest or shoulders, this is nice to do. So just kind of find a comfortable arm position for you. And what you want to do in legs up the wall is you want this feeling that your abdomen or the lake, this is the lake in the pose, is descending towards the back of your body. You don't want to feel like it's puffing, but it's descending and it's relaxing there and spreading to the sides. And here you simply allow the wall to receive your legs, your chest to open, and your eyes to descend away from your eyelids. So taking 5 to 10 minutes here, if you have a really busy schedule or you're trying to stay on track, you could set a timer on your phone. You could also place an eye cover or an eye pillow just to kind of shut the distractions out. So, and while you're in the pose, for whatever length of time you choose to be in, don't think about anything else. Just allow your body and your mind to surrender fully to the pose. This pose has excellent benefits, not only for your mind, it helps to calm the waves of your mind, but also your physical well-being. This idea of inverting your legs up the wall, it allows the blood flow to flow away from your feet and your legs and into your abdominal region, organs, and even all the way up to your brain. So it's an inverted pose that you can do for women, even if you're on your period. It's a safer pose that you can do on your period. And it's just very rejuvenating. So coming out of the pose, you'll bend your knees and you'll roll to one side. Support yourself with your hands and press yourself up. Okay, so that is a simple, the most basic way to get into the pose without propping. Now I want to show you how to get into the pose with propping. So what you'll do is you'll need anywhere from 1 to 3 blankets. It really depends on you and how much height you can stand. For some of us, we like that basic form, and for others, you may find that more height helps you to kind of just open and expand your chest and your abdominal region a little bit more. So I'm going to show you how to do that with propping. So first you'll use blocks, 2 blocks on their tallest height, and you'll place them up to the wall. These just kind of act as spacers, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. So you take them up here and take them almost as wide as your mat, if not as wide as your mat. And next, what I'm using today is the equivalent of 3 blankets. So I've got this thin bolster that I'll use, so that can count as a blanket. And then I've got 2 blankets on top. And the way that I'm gonna fold them, I'll show you. So you wanna take a blanket, fold it like this. Okay, so it's kind of like this medium-sized rectangle, long rectangle. Okay, and then I'm going to fold them in, say, quarters 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. I'm not super great with measurements, but quarters, I use the word quarters. So, and then you would stack them on top. So the blanket looks like this now. It's like this long rectangle. Okay, and then I'll do my last blanket. So this could be equivalent to 3 blankets. You could use a bolster. Some of you may have a thicker bolster. That's fine. And again, you can go really low. You can do lower support here. So it's really up to you and what feels comfortable on your back. Okay, so going into the pose, so see you've got these spacers, you've got your bolsters, blankets. Okay, you'll sit in here and notice I'm starting at the edge, one edge of my support. You never want to just sit down in the middle, okay, because by the time you come into the pose, you'll basically be halfway off of your blankets and fall off. So you want to start sitting on an edge, one edge of your support, okay? And then I'm going to tilt my hips up a little bit here. It just kind of helps to bring you closer to the wall. Place your forearm down, so you're going to support yourself with your forearm. And then what I do is I reach my arm like this, and I hold on to my support. Okay, and then with my other hand as well, as I swing my legs up the wall. And here I can come a little bit closer. So this space in between the blankets and the wall is for you to kind of drop your tailbone down in between. So it's like a little valley where your buttocks go. And then coming back like this. Now this is pretty high support, so if it feels too high for you, you can just go lower. Okay. Notice my hamstrings, my legs are held all the way up to the wall, and that's okay. It's not the end of the world. I have a shorter torso and I have higher support right now, so this feels pretty comfortable to me, and I can stay here for about 5 or 10 minutes. Okay. If you find that you get into this pose and this is way too high, one way you can kind of quickly adjust is place your feet on the wall. Pick up your hips, slide 1 or 2, however many blankets you don't want there, and then lower your hips back down and stretch your legs up the wall. Okay, so there's ways you can adjust while you're in the pose. Now coming out of the pose, okay, you'll go out kind of the same way, almost the same way you came in. Bend your knees. You'll turn to the side, press your hand into the floor and come up. Okay, so that is legs up the wall. We've done a basic way and a more complicated way with props, but the props are so worth it, I promise. And then the next way we're going to go into it. This is for if you're feeling a little more adventurous. If you're agile and you're used to this pose, you practice this pose many times in your practice, and you have the flexibility to actually do it in this way. So I'm going to show you kind of a funky way to get into Viparita Karani. Okay, so I'm going to stack up all my props again. The higher here, the better, I've found for getting into the pose in this way. So you'll start, if you'll watch, I'm sliding my hands in between that first prop, that bolster, and the blanket. So my palms go all the way underneath. Okay, so all the way up to the wrist. Okay, and then I'll kind of lift up into a downward facing dog position. You'll walk your feet in towards the bolster, bend your knees. You're going to place the tops of your shoulders on your blankets. So kind of like shoulder stand, how you would go into shoulder stand, how you would be in shoulder stand with your shoulders on the blankets. It sort of feels like that. So you're here, and then what you're going to do is take your hands up the wall, okay, and you'll slide, or you'll swing your legs up the wall. Lift your shoulders, hold on to the blankets, and slide your buttocks and your legs down the wall as your back slides back. Lots of sliding. Okay, so that's a fun and funky way to get into Viparita Karani. And then you just chill out for however long you would like. And coming out of the pose, bend your knees, turn to one side, pat yourself with your hand, press down and lift up. Okay, so those are 3 ways. A basic, a little more advanced, and a little bit funkier way of getting into Viparita Karani. I hope you enjoyed the video today. Thank you, and you can connect with me on Facebook at Ashley Russell Yoga. Look out for my workshops and classes in the future. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Namaste.